All right, so what I've done this morning in my 14-day challenge that I've put on myself here is I have my new fuel injectors. I assembled the, I guess the arms that hold them on. But I did after being on the internet on Ren's List, someone said I should put a rail and some of the fuel lines, kind of fit them and see how they fit. The 60 just looked like it was going to be too long for me to actually do. I mean, it probably could have been done, but I would probably have issues with it. So I decided to just cut them all down 10 millimeters. So this is the fuel line that came with the kit for just the fuel lines, but I needed new fuel injectors because they were all shot. So when you put them together, now my hoses are the same size as the fuel kit, more or less. So they're right about exactly the same. That's where we need to be. I just took 10 millimeters off of all 8. I just took off 10 millimeters off of all 8 of them. I've got a thing on there that shows the two differences. Can't really tell much of a difference, but these are going to fit much easier for me to put back together. So next on what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually connect all of these to the fuel rails. And I wanted to get this done for sure first, because once I do this, you can't just undo them. Once they're stuck on there, you have to cut them all down, and I don't want to deal with that again. All right. So right now, the only thing I'm doing, I'm just getting ready to attach the fuel injectors to the fuel rails. I sanded them down, I cleaned them. I didn't paint them. I don't think I'm going to paint them. I think I'm just going to leave them like this for now. If I have to paint them later on, I will, but right now it's all about just getting the car running. 2, 3, 4, then these will be done. Okay. You don't want to stick these on the barbs and not have these on to tighten them, because then you have to cut the tubes off and start over. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I just need to find a picture on the other side. Where am I? I'm just in. Now these are a bunch of pictures I took of the engine just to help me put stuff back together. I'm trying to find something that's on this side just to make sure where they all stick in at. The passenger side rail, done. So there are the fuel injectors, there are the hoses. Kind of important to get the car going. And now we're just going to go and do the driver's side rail. I just do this to make sure I've got the, I just want to make sure that once I put them on, I have the plugs for the injectors pointing the right way. Because if I do it this way, it won't work when I put it on. They've got to be pointing out towards the outside of the car where the power comes to it, where the cords come through. That's why I should keep checking this. All right, and there we go. Brand new fuel injectors on the fuel rails. Ready to go, all set. One more step done towards the rebuild of the top end on the 928. Okay, we're getting a little bit more along today. All I've done today, I'm trying to I've got the fuel injectors done now. So I'm trying to re-put in the fuel lines, because I think those go in first. Basically, I'm just putting everything back together, but at the same time not knowing where most of the hoses go. So I'm just going to have to guess and figure it out as I go, but I've got a lot of new rubber hoses in. First 2 air intake legs are back in. I did that just because I'm pretty sure this is where the fuel lines go. All right, next day, still working on the fuel system. I'm going to clean out my fuel lines all the way out the back, the return and the one coming in. I'm going to use some B12 Chem Tool carburetor and choke cleaner, spray into them, and then blow it out with the air compressor. There we go. Check. I can turn my hand. So. Yep. I don't know how much of it's actually even getting in there though. Enough. Here we are. I'm just looking. This is what I've done so far today. I got the car jacked back up. I've got the new fuel lines in that go to the back, the return and the in. So these are both in. Both new fuel lines are in all the way down there. Really hard to get on. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just fitting all the fuel rails all the way around. I put the rails back on with the injectors, one in right here and one in on this one. because that's where these the fuel rails bolt in. I'm trying to do a fit because I still have to cut a fuel line from here to here, so I wanted to get the whole thing fit and put together tight so I know exactly how I need to cut those. So at this point, all the fuel's done. I just have to hook the gas tank back up and then figure out exactly where all my vacuum lines and everything go and put the rest of the intake together, and this thing's going to be ready to go.
Any questions?